All right, so we're back from NAMM. We're slowly getting our voices back. Perfect.
That was really good. That was really good. I'm really happy about that.
So we're gonna unpack some of our thoughts and just go through the show with you guys, and then we'll mix in some clips maybe later in the video. So, overall impressions of NAMM. Matthew, go.
Jeff, go.
Oh my God.
I'm putting you on the spot because this is your debut on a YouTube video for Mythos.
I thought it was great. I thought we had a lot of great players come by, check out the pedals, give some good feedback. Everybody seemed to like the Herc. I think the Fates got a good reception.
Good rub for the Fates.
People like the Fates.
And even the Argo too. I feel like a lot of people who never experienced the Argo got to hear it through a 2-rock.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Yeah, that was really fun for a lot of people. I think like people visiting the booth, they were just excited to get to meet us and try the things in person. That was really cool. Getting to see everybody that a lot of faces that or a lot of names that we know online that you don't actually get to spend any real FaceTime with was really fun. But everyone just seemed really excited. I think for me it was very validating hearing everybody play the Herculean and say how awesome it was. And the Fates. I feel like you're right. The Fates is kind of it's starting to get a little bit of a run because there's been more reviews and stuff come out about it. So I think people are excited about it. And a lot of people played it and just couldn't believe how good it was. And it's just, it's so easy to use. So.
Yeah, I think that's probably the biggest thing that came out of that for me was, thinking about going into the show, you're like, everyone's going to be trying everything through headphones. And as good as that can be, it's limiting as far as the impressions that you get. Yeah. But we actually got a lot of action out of the 2-rock, and we weren't super loud, but it was a loud NAMM.
It was a loud NAMM. Talking about the show itself.
Yes,
it was insanely loud. We saw 2 sound police, and
the whole time
Matthew talked to one of them, and he said he was but one of 2, and that was it for the whole show.
Yeah, so I felt like we kind of got to play a little bit. I don't think we were loud. Yeah, we got to play out loud more than I thought we would.
We were respectful but rowdy.
But I thought that was respectful.
I don't even think we were rowdy. Yeah. I mean, you could hear the Bad Cat booth. Those guys were ripping.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
And
shout out to Game Changer.
Game Changers always just
Driftwood, they were real loud over there. We had Rev right next to us. Shout out to Rev.
Yeah, everybody's just making whale sounds.
So I thought that it was like Star Trek 4, man. I was ready to take the voyage home. But I think that
was a line at Disneyland.
It does sound like that. It's really funny. So the Game Changer booth.
Yeah.
It does sound like the sound effects when you're in a long line at Disney. It's like you just randomly get to a thing and then you hear just some wild sound. That's kind of what Game Changer sounds like when you're behind them.
And people love that. So
apparently they do.
That's great for them. But yeah, so getting to hear a lot of players come by, getting to hear, even just people really great players I've never met, play everything out loud and hear it and get to hear the Herc in action and getting to hear the Fates in action and the Argo and the Oracle. That was really neat, and we got to do that way more than I thought we would, and I thought that was really nice because normal NAMM, you're just getting everything squashed, and maybe that wasn't so great for everybody to have that level of noise all the time, but it gave us a chance to hear everything out loud a little bit more, which I really enjoyed.
And it was a pretty busy NAMM. There were a lot of people there, a lot of guests and attendees.
Yes.
We call them yellow badges. Because on the badge, we don't have ours on, but there's a little tag at the bottom that shows like a color strip, and that's red's exhibitor, blue is a buyer, purple's media, and yellow is attendee. So it's just like you're just there hanging out, which is cool, but it packs it in.
It does. And I shared with you guys, I've been going to NAMM for a long time. Yeah. And I used to go and I'd be a yellow badger because a lot of times I'd go because I'd work for a company and I'd get a ticket or whatever. And back in the day, if you were yellow, they'd chase you out of the booth, man. They'd spit on you. They'd just be like, out.
Hit you with a poker?
Like a spray bottle, like you're a dog. And I know things have changed a little bit, but back then it was very serious. It's like, there's no, I'm old man, so there was people weren't emailing each other back then as much as they do now. And so there was a little more business focused, and now it's a little more just kind of an open, hey, come check our stuff out, which it's a different vibe, but does make it a little bit more of just kind of a normal show. It's we try to do business, and we did do business, But, a lot of the people that we're talking to, we've already talked to a lot.
Yeah.
It's just more like, it's a, hey, how you doing? Come check this stuff out.
Yeah.
Let's be friends. Let's get dinner afterwards. Let's hit the Hilton pool, that kind of thing.
Every night.
Yeah,
Every night.
We jump right in. Yeah, it's interesting to see the shift to like, because even when I started going a few years ago, it still felt very business oriented, and now it just feels like a big kind of like a guitar show. At least where we were, because like to be honest, I don't think any of us ventured beyond Hall D, which was where all the guitar stuff was.
I took a few steps into the drum room and slowly backed away.
And I don't think I think the guitar space is the loudest space.
Yes.
Because, I was glad Morgan came and we were walking around in the drum place and she's like, oh, wouldn't this be worse? Like, I don't think so, because like guitar is such in this weird mid-range frequency that it just hits your head in a different way, and the drums, it's just kind of like loud and bright or deep,
and then it dissipates,
and it kind of goes away.
But guitar does not.
It doesn't.
It just
the whole time. Yes, but you're right. It does feel more like it's an open show kind of thing, and we kind of approached it that way in the sense that we have meetings, and there was dealers we wanted to talk to, and new dealers and distributors that we wanted to talk to. But a lot of it is just like, here's a chance to just show off our stuff to anybody and everybody that comes in, because you never know who's going to stop by, and that's sort of the appeal. That's the new NAMM.
Yeah,
and it was busy, and we enjoyed it.
Yeah, well, I mean, social media has really changed the whole landscape of that thing, and now people just want to see who they're buying from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, it was neat how many people came up to us and like they know who we are.
Yeah.
And
Right.
they're excited to meet us.
Yeah.
Which
Oh,
is
you're real people.
Because we are gigantic YouTube stars.
Oh my gosh.
Right? YouTube celebrities. Now, Jeff, you are now a YouTube celebrity.
Yeah, thank you.
Well,
So
Jeff got a
can't wait for my
taste of
check.
it on the JHS show.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
And they like Jeff.
Yeah. I'm still
Jeff
getting
big
residuals.
hit.
Yeah.
Jeff hit.
Jeff, big hit. But overall, so what were you guys' impressions of some other stuff at the show? Like, you mentioned that you didn't step out too far.
Yeah.
Like, people always ask when you go to NAMM, well, what did you see? What did you like? So let's start with you, Jeff. What did you see? What did you like?
Well, I can definitely give the bathrooms a review, but I'll save that.
Bad.
Bad.
Woof.
I feel like we got a nice section of small pedal companies all around us, which is mainly what I was interested in.
Yes,
so,
yes.
I didn't have to walk too far to see some cool things. The deli booth was just right down the way.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
No sandwiches.
No sandwich. Yeah, I was
It
kind of
was a
surprised
pedal. It
about
was a
that.
pedal.
It was a pedal
Pedal
deli.
deli.
Pedal
Still
deli.
confused. It was and also nice to see a third man across the way, our Nashville brethren.
Yeah.
But,
So this is a nice way
yeah.
to say that we really didn't go out and look at anything.
No,
I think I
just
did the most.
You did
saw
the-
friends and
yeah.
made friends. I think is the key.
Yeah, I definitely, because you guys tried to get me to go do stuff, and I said, like, okay. I get really concerned that my energy level will drop. And, like, if I walk around and I walk away from the booth, it, like, zaps my will to be like, hello! Yeah! It's Mythos! Let's go! Let's go! Yeah! So I don't want to go because I feel like I'm not, it's like I'm going to be, like, it's going to drop down enough to where so I'm like, I got to stay.
You get people running up saying, Matthew constantly.
Okay. Yeah.
Super popular.
Yeah.
I mean, that happens, but it's, so, and then I also think that it is the difference between, NAMMs in the past where, like, you kind of know all the gear already. There's not a whole lot of surprise releases, stuff that you're going to say, like, oh, well, I have to go check this out, kind of situation.
Yeah.
Where, because people announce stuff ahead of time. Most of the time, I mean, people knew we had something new coming out, and so we kind of tried to play it like, hey, come and see us, and they found out about it that morning, and they got to go check it out. Yeah, it's also, when you're in the industry, it is just hard to get excited about things.
Well, and we were there.
It just really is, because you're there to work. And
We're there to work.
You're there to be focused on there, and so, back in the day when I was fanboying more, and I'd be there to check out the show, there would be more stuff like, oh, I got to check this out, and I got to check that out, and it's hard to get, in that mind frame. Was excited to go check out Divided by 13.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful.
And then none of us got a chance to play that.
No, none of us got to.
But
nobody wants to listen to me play Divided by 13, so let's be honest.
I did get to hear Corey Congilio play the Divided by stuff, and it sounded great. I mean, of course it'll sound great. I played the new Victory Deputy, which is Danish
Oh,
pizza.
okay.
to see that.
Okay.
It sounded awesome. It sounded great. I really liked it. I played the new, all the new Victory stuff. The big, they had the clean, and then there's the overdrive one. That's basically like a new version of his Cornford amp. because Martin Kidd did Cornford.
Yeah.
Man, when you said Cornford, I got so excited.
So hungry.
I used to,
Starving?
No. I just back in the day, I just loved I had like a CD demo of Cornford amps that I used to just listen to it.
That's awesome.
I don't know why. I was just excited about it. I had it. And I was
Did you
like,
have
this is
Guthrie
great.
Govan playing?
Everybody was on that thing.
Man.
It was great. I used
Well-
to be really excited. That was back in the day where you had like a DVD demo or something, and you could like watch that.
An
'cause
interactive
That was
DVD.
all pre-YouTube. That's so crusty.
Came
It was
with
so
a magazine.
old. Oh yeah.
But I don't know what else. I'm trying to think of anything else I saw that really like excited me. I mean, a lot of it we just knew what was going to be.
Yeah, we
there.
knew the divided stuff would be there. I mean,
I
hell,
wanted to see the PV booth. I
wanted to go. I wanted
see
to
it.
go see the ESP booth, and I just never got. Like I said, I just couldn't.
It was upstairs. It was too far away.
I couldn't mentally.
PV was
break-
upstairs too.
Yeah.
What are they doing up there?
I don't know. I was excited to see all the new Novo and Revolta stuff.
Oh, yeah.
That was neat because a lot of that stuff I'd seen, in the development stage. So
Yeah.
it was nice to see some of that stuff come out and check out the new stuff and
Lots
see
of
our
new
old
stuff.
see our old friends. So that was
Yeah.
really cool to see them there, especially because the amount of people that said, "Oh, I just saw Devin." And Fred, and then, or they said, they're here too, and then we sent them. So it was a lot of sending back and forth between the two booths, which was really nice.
I think the standout piece of gear that wasn't the Mythos Herculean was the Two Rock Studio signature we borrowed.
Oh my god!
Because I've played them for a minute.
Yeah.
But we brought Eli was very kind enough to loan us one for the show. He picked out a white one because it would match our logo on our sign, which was awesome. We set it in the booth, plugged it in. We plugged in the guitar. I hit a chord and didn't turn the knob and said, "Well, that's the best sound I've ever heard." And it took pedals.
We were all
so
very
perfectly.
stunned that we had to not dial that thing in at all.
No.
So if anybody's worried about saving money and buying the affordable 2-Rock, at what? I don't know, $3,000.
I don't know, like affordable. I mean, it's smaller, it's
good.
more compact.
It's real good.
It's made with the same parts.
Yeah.
It's just as good.
Yeah,
And we had the lovely folks at Brown Box loaned us, or at Amp RX loaned us a Brown Box. I always get confused with the name on that because I just want to call it Brown Box.
Yes,
But we had a Brown Box at the booth, keeping our power safe and
keeping our steamer safe.
PSA kids, don't plug in a steamer for your trade show into a Brown Box because you will blow the fuse. Because that's what I did. But moving right along, let's talk about some of the gear that we came home with, and then I have some other things that I was surprised with when I got home. But Jeffrey, why don't you give us a start? We'll just come out of the gate
This is
swinging.
mostly
Okay.
you because you're the one that got hooked up, bro.
I'll start small. So I had the intention of going to meet the Surfy guys. I'm a big fan of what they do. So they put out this year Surfy Trim Deluxe. I think this past year. So I checked it out. It sounded great. Put it on the board. Used it at practice last night, and it rules. It sounds awesome.
There you go.
And then, so we had some Booth brothers behind us.
Booth Bros.
From Poland.
Yes.
It was a guitar company, an amp company, a pedalboard company, and a pickup company all sharing a 10 by 10 space.
Just an orgy of tone.
A clown car.
Yeah, and they had some beautiful instruments, and they couldn't take them all home, so they were so generous and seeing if we could enjoy something. So check out this beautiful golden Strat style guitar. I believe they call it
Strat shaped odd.
yes,
Strat
I
shaped
believe
odd.
they call it the Stone.
The Stone.
And this is and now I could get this wrong, but the company is MIUU. We think it's Mew. It could be Miu.
I think it's meh.
Mie. It might be Mie.
There you go.
Help me.
But a
help me,
free
Poland.
guitar.
Crazy.
Yeah, beautiful.
Insane.
Sounds great. Looks amazing.
Yes.
I don't know.
There you go.
Classic and modern.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, I got this. Our friend Mike at Seeker.
We'll do some
Just
B-roll.
put that in post. Has been listening to the Pedal Pushers and my ramblings on this YouTube channel and thought I'd really like this Mark I tone bender thing.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. As we know, I'm not up on my
And fuzz pedal.
I'm
Fuzz.
not a circuit man. I don't know what's going on in here. Don't ask me anything about
It's magic.
the transistors and
magic.
stuff. So I trust you guys and the pedal building world to tell me what I might like. And I got a chance to play this yesterday because you were kind enough to let us have Tuesday off to rest after being at the NAMM show, and it sounded great. I really
Mike's
liked
a tone guru.
I really liked it a lot. I plugged it into my Benson and my Castadosa, and it ripped, and I enjoyed it. It cleaned up nice. It was spitty and fun, and check that out.
We didn't even mention hanging with Carlos. You guys got to.
Oh, well, I was gonna save that one.
Yeah, that's a whole nother story.
So Jeffrey over here is rocking the hat. So I got a Castadosa guitar earlier this year. You guys, I teased it forever. You guys have seen it. And Carlos was nice enough on Thursday night to take me and Jeff out to dinner and then back to his shop so we could see how the magic happens. And
oh my God.
it was super fun. I got to play the baritone for the very first time.
Man,
and
Matthew.
I'm getting sweaty about that. I have to have one. Because it sounded like me, right?
The second you picked it up, it was just like, this is you. This is it. This
I
is the
wasn't
sound.
there.
You decided to go to Disneyland.
I went to Disneyland with my wife.
Were you trying it out through a gold claw too?
Yeah, I was. I did.
Yeah?
I played it through.
No big
Got an
deal.
actual real clawed.
That sounded pretty good.
But it sounded amazing, and Carlos is the sweetest guy in the world. He was so nice to us. We had a great time.
Yeah.
We had a few pops. You know, his wife might have to have driven us back to the hotel, which is cool.
Awesome.
Thank you, Stephanie.
Thank
She was great to talk to because she makes the pickups, so I grilled her on
Yeah.
all that stuff too. But like, just really amazing people. It's just a small operation out in Riverside. It was really neat to see
Yeah.
that, and shout out to Carlos.
Yeah, incredible work.
Great dude.
Awesome. And then lastly, for me, so got a gold Kaiser capo.
Yeah.
Kaiser folks, I love Kaiser capos. It's funny.
It's so good.
I've tried all the really fancy capos, and I always go back to these. There's
My favorite too.
There's something about my hand, and because of my dumb left hand and how I can't turn it over.
Dumb.
And some capos that I can, they kind of get in the way, and it's a very odd thing to say because you feel like it shouldn't, but Kaiser never does. So
I agree.
Kaiser capo is fantastic.
That's great.
And then
Oh, yes.
our neighbors across the way, right next to Third Man, Crazy Tube Circuits.
What great guys.
Great
my
guys.
God.
They hooked us up with the superconductor, which is their boost, has 4 boosts in it.
That was one of the biggest. I didn't even know that pedal existed until I
It's
played
super
it.
cool, super handsome looking pedal.
Yeah.
So you can choose the different boost circuits. You can choose like if it's thin or if it's the original circuit or make it more fat, and then 9 or 18 volts.
Really cool.
Yeah, fantastic guys, fantastic stuff. And then when I got home, and I mentioned this in an Instagram story, Monty's guitars in the UK, they sent us a bunch of stuff. So we got the Moore boost pedal, which has a bunch of in and outs. So I think you can split that. Haven't tried it yet, but that's awesome. And then they sent us a bunch of Montespresso, which is the relicking wax, instrument relic wax, and then instrument food, which you can use to like treat your fingerboard and stuff and keep it nice and pretty. But
I desperately want to try this stuff on my hair.
yeah, oh yeah, this
It
stuff
just got
it tastes great.
It's got the vibe.
You tasted it?
Yeah.
It smells good. So it's
I
like
like
a
it.
beeswax sort of honey
It's a
smell.
nice butter vibe.
Yeah, he's put this on a little toast. But yeah, we're gonna use the Montespresso in some upcoming guitar videos. But
Beautiful
yeah.
packaging.
Yeah, and they
It's
sent
really nice.
a bunch of stuff. So thank you, Monty's, and thank you to everybody that hooked us up with something at the show. But yeah, I think all in all,
Overall.
it was a really good experience. I'm glad we did it. It is no small undertaking, but I think it felt worth it. So hopefully you'll see us there again next year.
I think so. Was there anything that surprised you guys about the reaction to anything that we make?
Everyone just got real excited about like how much the pedals like responded to their playing.
Yes.
That I don't know. I wasn't surprised. It was just good affirmation that the things we do. It really connects with players of every walk of life.
Yeah, I feel like we got jazz players, we got like noisemakers, blues dads, we got them all, and they all seem to like it. Which is, we're not stuck in a little corner.
That's sort of what I kind of gathered. Is like when you get that wide swath, you get a little bit of an Instagram bubble and your friends and people that you know and the kind of people that buy the same stuff as you, and you get all these new people that come in that maybe have never checked your stuff out and never had a chance or in different walks of life in the guitar industry. And then they come in and try it, and everybody sounds very different, and everybody plays very different. Yeah. But then the pedals speak to them because I think that's the base that we're coming from is just guitar playing.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Keeping it simple and enhancing what you already do, or just making it sound better.
Yeah.
And so that works for every single kind of guitar player,
Yeah.
which I think is really cool. And just that reaction to the Herc was really great. You
Definitely.
know?
Yes,
Seeing
definitely.
how many different people were like, "Oh, this sounds really good," because it's so versatile and you can dial it in so many different ways. And, you know, I think at one point somebody dialed it in. We're like, can we take a picture of this? Like,
I know,
we have
I
to
kept
make
setting
sure-
it in that weird way.
Yeah, it sounded really good. And it was nice to have that kind of discovered on the show floor. And
Yeah.
and that'll be maybe a recommended setting.
Yeah.
It was really cool. So,
So
great.
yeah, let us know what you think about the show. If you went, or maybe what you hope to see from NAMM in the future. Just leave us a comment. But yeah, we got to get back to building Herculeans.
Yep.
Yeah, and we got cleaned out of everything.
Oh yeah,
we got lots of stuff going out, lots of orders going with those Hercs to dealers the next couple weeks. So we got to get busy. I might actually have to get out here and help.
Oh, that would be
probably.
good.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's go.
All right.
Oh.